Shalom. Welcome to Hebrew Bible Secrets with your host, Rabbi Beaton. We are reading today from the book of Luke, starting at chapter 22. Luke, chapter 22, verse 1. 1. Now the Moed, celebration of Matzah, unleavened bread, drew near, which is called the protection, mercy, salvation, and Passover. 2. And the chief Kohanim and the experts in the Torah sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. 3. Then Satan entered into Yehuda, surnamed Quiriath, Judas Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. 4. And he went his way and communed with the chief Kohanim and captains, how he might betray him to them. 5. And they were glad, and arranged to give him money. 6. And he promised and sought opportunity to betray him to them in the absence of the multitude. 7. Then came the day of Matzah, unleavened bread, when the mercy, salvation, and Passover must be killed. 8. And he sent Kepha and Yehochanan, John, saying, Go and prepare us the mercy, salvation, and Passover, that we may eat. 9. And they said to him, Where do you want us to prepare? 10. And he said to them, Behold, when you have entered into the city, there shall a man meet you, bearing a pitcher of Mayim, water. Follow him into the bath, the house, where he enters in. 11. And you shall say to the owner of the bath, the house, The Rabbi said to you, Where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the mercy, salvation, and Passover with my disciples? 12. And he shall show you a large upper room, furnished. There make ready. 13. And they went and found as he had said to them, and they made ready the mercy, salvation, and Passover. 14. And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 emissaries with him. 15. And he said to them, With desire I have desired to eat this mercy, salvation, and Passover with you before I suffer. 16. For I say to you, I will not any more eat there until it be fulfilled in the kingdom of Elohim. 17. And he took the cup and gave thanks and said, Take this and divide it among yourselves. 18. For I say to you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of Elohim shall come. 19. And he took lechem, bread, and gave thanks and broke it, and gave to them, saying, This is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me. 20. Likewise also the cup after supper, saying, This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. 21. But behold, the hand of him that betrays me is with me on the table. 22. And truly the Son of Man goes, as it was determined, but woe to that man by whom he is betrayed. 23. And they began to inquire among themselves, which of them it was that should do this thing. 24. And there was also a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. 25. And he said to them, The kings of the Gentiles lord over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. 26. But you shall not be so, but he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief as he that does serve. 27. For who is greater, he that sits at the table, or he that serves? Is it not he that sits at the table? But I am among you as he that serves. 28. You are they which have continued with me in my temptations. 29. And I appoint to you a kingdom, as my Ab has appointed to me. 30. that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. 31. And Yeshua said, Shimon, Shimon, behold, Satan has desired to have ye all, that he may sift you as wheat. 32. But I have petitioned for you, that your faith fail not, and when you have converted, strengthen your brothers. 33. And he said to him, Rabbi, I am ready to go with you, both into prison and to death. 34. And he said, I tell you, Keith, the crier shall not blow the shofar this day. Before that, you shall 3 times deny that you know me. 35. And he said to them, when I sent you without purse and bag and sandals, did you lack in anything? And they said, nothing. 36. Then said he to them, but now he that has a purse, let him take it, and likewise his bag. And he that has no sword, let him sell his garment and buy them. 37. For I say to you, that this that is written must be accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors. For the things concerning me have an end. 38. And they said, Master, Adonai, Lord, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said to them, it is enough. 39. And he came out and went, as was his custom, to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. 40. And when he was at the place, he said to them, petition that you enter not into temptation. 41. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and petitioned. 42. Saying, Av, if you be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. 43. And there appeared a messenger to him from Shamayim, heaven, strengthening him. 44. And being in agony, he petitioned more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. 45. And when he rose up from petition, he was come to his disciples. He found them sleeping from emotional and physical exhaustion. 46. And said to them, why do you sleep? Rise and petition, lest you enter into temptation. 47. And while he yet spoke, behold, a multitude, and he that was called Yehuda, one of the 12, went before them and drew near to Yeshua to kiss him. 48. But Yeshua said to him, Yehuda, you betray the Son of Man with a kiss. 49. When they which were about him saw what would follow, they said to him, Master, Adonai, Lord, shall we strike him with the sword? 50. And one of them smote the servant of the Kohen Agadol, the high priest, and cut off his right ear. 51. And Yeshua answered and said, enough of this. And he touched his ear and healed him. 52. Then Yeshua said to the chief Kohanim and captains of the Abrahamic-Faith, the temple, and the elders, which were come to him, you come out as against a thief with swords and clubs. 53. When I was daily with you in the Abrahamic-Faith, the temple, you stretched forth no hands against me. But this is your hour and the power of darkness. 54. Then they seized him and led him and brought him into the Kohen Agadol, high priest, Beth house, and Kepha followed at a distance. 55. And when they had kindled their fire in the midst of the hall, and were sat down together, Kepha sat down among them. 56. But a certain woman beheld him as he sat by the fire, and earnestly looked upon him, and said, this man was also with him. 57. And he denied him, saying, woman, I know him not. 58. And after a little while, another saw him, and said, You are also of them. And Kepha said, Man, I am not. 59. And about the space of 1 hour after another, confidently affirmed, saying, Of a truth, this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean. 60. And Kepha said, Man, I know not what you say. And immediately, while he was speaking, the crier blew the shofar. 61. And Yahushua turned and looked upon Kepha. And Kepha remembered the word of Yahushua, how he had said to him, Before the crier blows the shofar, you shall deny me 3 times. 62. And Kepha went out and wept bitterly. 63. And the men that held Yahushua mocked him and beat him. 64. And when they had blindfolded him, they struck him on his face and asked him, saying, Prophesy, who is it that hit you? 65. And many other things blasphemously spoke they against him. 66. And as soon as it was day, the elders of the people and the chief Kohanim and the experts in the Torah came together and led him into their council chamber, saying, 67. Are you the Messiah? Tell us. And he said to them, If I tell you, you will not believe. 68. And if I also ask you, you will not answer me, nor let me go. 69. Hereafter shall the Son of Man sit on the right hand of the power of Elohim. 70. Then said they all, Are you the Son of Elohim? And he said to them, You say that I am. 71. And they said, What need have we of any further witness? For we ourselves have heard of his own mouth. So that now brings us to the end of Luke chapter 22. So let's go back and have a look at some of the footnotes in Luke chapter 22. So the first footnote we have is in verse 8. And he sent Kepha and Yehochanan and John, saying, Go and prepare us the mercy, salvation, and Passover, that we may eat. Okay, so let's have a look at this, that we may eat. So this was a rabbinic rehearsal of the Passover. Okay, so it was a rehearsal of the Passover. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 19. And he took lekem bread and gave thanks and broke it and gave to them, saying, This is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me. Okay, so let's have a look at this, remembrance of me. So it says here, this verse does not line up with the other Gospels, as the scribes inserted and removed text to line up with Mark and Matthew. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 20. Likewise also the cup after supper, saying, This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. Okay, so this cup is the new covenant. So let's have a look at this. So this covenant can only be new if it is brand new and given by Yahushua, the Messiah, as declared in Jeremiah 31:31. Covenant proposals cannot be added to or subtracted from once sealed. Okay, so let's have a look at Jeremiah 31:31. Okay, so Jeremiah 31:31 reads, Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will make a new Brit Chadasha, new covenant, with the house of Israel and with the house of Yehudah. Okay, so we have a footnote here for new covenant. Here is the opinion on the matter. The covenant that was established at Mount Nebo in Devarim, Deuteronomy 29:1, spoken about a time that was yet to come, but this covenant was yet future, as Jeremiah the prophet spoke. The only way this could occur if a prophet was yet to come, or a righteous, anointed person who will establish this covenant. Without being prejudicial, the only way this could be reconciled if the words of Rabbi Yeshua are to be taken seriously in Luke 22:20. Else one could hold to the opinion that this is simply an iteration of Deuteronomy 29:1. The only problem is this, that a covenant cannot be added to or subtracted from if it has already been formed and sealed. Okay? So therefore, the Father states that he will make a new covenant, which is written. So it's sealed already in Jeremiah chapter 31:31. So this is the covenant we're talking about, the covenant of Mount Nebo in Devarim, Deuteronomy 29:1. So this is yet future. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 31. And Yahushua said, Shimon, Shimon, behold, Satan has desired to have ye all, that he may sift ye as wheat. Okay, so have ye all. So let's have a look at this. So we have here, the Greek manuscripts have the word in plural for all. To have all the disciples from whom Peter, was the head representative. Okay, so Peter being the head representative of all the disciples. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 34. And he said, I tell you, Kepha, the crier shall not blow the shofar this day. Okay, so let's have a look at this, shofar this day. So we have here, see footnote on the rooster, Matthew 26:75. So let's have a look at Matthew 26:75. So Matthew 26:75, and it reads, and Kepha, Peter, remembered the word of Yahushua, which said to him, before the crier blows the shofar, you shall deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly. Okay, so we have a footnote here. The crier blows the shofar. So the blast of the shofar by a watchman, not a farm rooster, as wrongly understood by many. The reading cock crows is wrong. The Greek has been retrofitted incorrectly. Okay, so it was a shofar that was blown, and it wasn't the cock crows. It was the shofar. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 36. Then said he to them, but now he that has a purse, let him take it, and likewise his bag. And he that has no sword, let him sell his garment and buy them. Okay, so let's have a look at this. And buy one. So Yahushua did not teach pacifism. Sometimes we have to go to war for righteous reasons. Okay? So sometimes we have to go to war for righteous reasons. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 53. When I was daily with you in the Beth Hamikdash, the temple, and you stretched forth no hands against me. But this is your hour and the power of darkness. So let's have a look at this, power of darkness. So at Passover, the powers of darkness are at their highest. It's when you will have marital issues and relational issues with friends and family. So be on your guard and in prayer. Okay. So let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 59. And about the space of 1 hour after, another confidently affirmed, saying, of a truth, his fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean. Okay, so let's have a look at this. And it says here, Peter's accent was different from the Hebrew people in Judea. This is why he was recognized. Okay? So let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 16. And Cephas said, man, I know not what you say. And immediately, while he was speaking, the crier blew the shofar. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So this was a watchman to sound the alarm for the celebration, and not a rooster, as many have misunderstood it, due to a bad translation and a poor scribe copying the Hebrew to Greek. There were watches set during the day and night. Israel was commanded to sound the shofar during the feasts and the Sabbaths. This can be read in Psalm 81 and 3. Okay, so let's have a look at Psalm 81 and 3. So Psalm 81 and 3, and it reads, blow the shofar in the new month, in the times appointed, on your appointed celebration day. So we have a footnote here for celebration day, and it reads, a commandment to blow the shofar on the new month, referring to the festival of Yom Teruah, Feast of Trumpets, one of the 7 annual feasts and remembrance of the voice of Yahweh. We only celebrated one new month annually and not every new month. See Isaiah 66:23. So let's have a look at Isaiah 66 and 23. And it shall come to pass that from the new month to new month, and from Sabbath to Sabbath, shall all flesh come to pay homage before me, says Master Yahweh. Okay, so we have a couple of footnotes here. So the first footnote we have month to new month. So let's have a look at this. So this is annual new month feasts, such as Yom Teruah, and not each new month as thought. So for further instruction, you could read Psalms 81 and 3, which you've just read, and Ezekiel 46 and 1. So we also have another footnote which reads, all will have to submit to his Sabbath, and all Sunday worship services cancelled permanently. Okay, so all Sunday worship will be cancelled permanently. So there you have it. Isaiah 66:23. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote. Which is in verse 69. Hereafter shall the Son of Man sit on the right hand of the power of Elohim. So let's have a look at this. Sit on the right hand. So we have here the right hand is the attribute of Yahweh, of strength and judgment at the Sephirotic tree level. He was making an unequivocal statement that he is Elohim, and this is how the first century experts in Torah and the priests understood this statement. This is why they accused him of blasphemy. Okay? So that now brings us to the end of Luke chapter 22. So I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the other side. This is Rabbi Beaton saying thank you for watching. Baruch Shem, Kivod, Malkuto, Leolam Va'ed. Benevolent be the name of his esteemed kingdom, forever and ever and ever. Amen.